Hello everybody, and welcome to another spiritual thought for the week. My name's Ollie, and each week we take a dive into all sorts of spiritual ideas and concepts, which I hope you find interesting and that are of some help and use to you wherever you are on your journey. This week we are taking a look at the concept of karma. So, what does karma mean to you? Is it something where perhaps you do something positive or negative to somebody, and at a later time in your future that comes back to you? Or is it like a cycle of rebirth? Is it like in a past life? Do you believe that perhaps we have past lives, and that if you do something good or bad in a past life, it will come back to you in the present life? A sort of cosmic ledger of credits and debts, perhaps, or even a kind of divine retribution, perhaps. So the meaning of karma is basically all action in the universe, and that action could be physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. That at its basic level is the meaning of the word karma. But the true meaning of karma is rarely understood. So that's what we're going to take a look at in today's discussion. I hope you find it interesting, because there are a couple of layers to dig deep down into. Essentially, karma helps us to achieve our life purpose. Okay, well, that's all very well, but what is meant by our life purpose? I love this quote by Deepak Chopra. He says, "The consequences of your actions are not randomly good or bad. They are organized in an evolutionary way to move you forward." So that's a nice way of looking at karma. And sometimes we might think that karma is good or bad, but I hope at the end of this discussion you'll kind of see that karma is a good thing. Karma is here to help us heal our limiting beliefs. And in doing so, it's going to help us to regain the awareness of who we really are, our true nature, that of a mind-blowingly magnificent spiritual being, full of light, full of love, part of the divine, the God, universe, source, however, whatever word you want to use for that. And we're on the journey back to realizing that. Karma is the mechanism by which we attract people, events, situations into our life in order for us to make another step along this journey of awareness and growth in awareness. And this process is not conscious. We don't consciously attract these things to us. It's done in the background, it's automatic, and it's facilitated, if you like, by our subconscious, perhaps unwittingly, and the law of attraction, and that like attracts like. But also facilitated by our guides, our angels around us, who are kind of working in the background to make sure to deliver these situations to us so that we can learn and we can grow. We're on a school called Planet Earth, if you like. And most of us on this school are walking the karmic path. Now, this path is quite slow and sequential. But the great thing about it, and it's a magical thing, is that if we can heal here on Earth, then we heal ourselves in spirit, our true essence. So it's almost like we're kind of playing a game here on Earth. We've agreed to restrict ourselves, to limit ourselves in this body, in this dense body, with these difficulties that we experience, so that we can learn aspects of ourselves and grow in the process. And that's the beauty of the Earth, that once you heal in the physical, you can heal in the spiritual. So let's take an example. Let's say that in spirit, you feel that you have a difficulty in feeling unconditionally loved by source, let's say, and that this is perhaps not as strong as it could be. So you might work with your guides to organize and plan an incarnation on Earth. Now, during that incarnation, you're going to plan various events and various situations, various people that are going to help you to become aware of a lack of feeling love, or feeling that love is only conditional. And then the events and situations will help you to become aware of that, and healing opportunities will come in your path. When you come to Earth, you start with a blank slate. Now, you only incarnate with a small part of yourself, which is a type of insurance, because of course it can go wrong sometimes. This planet Earth is a bit of a bumpy ride, but we arrive and got a blank slate. The veil comes down. We don't know who we truly are. And then we receive conditioning from our parents, usually from a very, very early age, even when we're in the womb. And that conditioning kind of nudges us to feeling unloved, that we don't get unconditional love. And because we're kind of predisposed to feel that anyway in spirit, then it doesn't take much for the conditioning we receive to kind of nudge us in that way. And we form that belief, that limiting belief, that love, that we don't feel love unconditionally. Then, as you go through your life will present you with opportunities. And there are four kind of steps of the evolutionary karma, if you like. The first one is to express that feeling of not feeling loved in this particular example. So any situations come along, maybe partners that you attract into your life, make you feel that love is conditional, that you have to be a certain way, and that you don't receive love unconditionally. And Abraham Hicks says via Esther Hicks that there is this vibrational basis from which you attract. So we are attracting what we need into our life. The second stage is awareness. We become aware that we have this feeling of, I'm just not feeling unconditionally loved. I have to be a certain way with people in order to get their love. And we start to realize that this is happening again and again. And that repetition, finally the penny drops and we go, oh, this keeps happening. So that's stage 2. Stage 3 is that the universe, our guides, offers us opportunities to heal. Now, these might be people who are able to help us heal. They might be therapists. They may be events or situations that we finally get that spark of understanding. And stage 4 is that we decide to take that opportunity and actually to do the healing. Now that healing may be fast, or it may take some years. But we then start the process of discovering that we are actually unconditionally loved by Source. And once we take that belief on board in our physical world here, and we reprogram our subconscious mind to accept that, then we can heal in spirit, and that's the beauty of the earth plane. Not only that, but we are actually in a dance of mutual benefit, mutual karmic benefit, if you like, because all those people that we're drawing into our lives and those situations, those people have their own karmic paths. And so we're kind of intertwining with them. And it's like a dance, basically. And we're helping not only ourselves, but before we came here, before we incarnated, we plan our lives with other souls who we plan to meet along the way so that we can help them and they can help us in the process. It is an amazing cosmic dance or karmic dance. So you might have heard people say, oh, yeah, that's my karma. For example, in relationships, yeah, I always attract this kind of person and he always does this and makes me feel like this, or I always end up feeling like this. And these are just opportunities that are being presented to us. And the person who says, yeah, that's my karma, it just keeps happening, they're just unwittingly really observing that the universe is giving them these opportunities to become aware of what's happening. And Michael Sheridan says that karma is neither positive nor negative. It is simply a method by which you are repeatedly presented with opportunities to overcome the limiting conditioning that blocks your awareness. Okay, so I hope you're with me so far. What about free will and karma? So as we go through this process in our lives, and I'm saying many lifetimes this happens, quite often a life may not work out as we planned. We may even end up going backwards a little bit. So many souls don't actually manage to achieve their life purpose, but that's okay. That's all right. You know, what we'll do, we'll come back into spirit, we'll go, okay, have a life review, and we'll say, okay, what happened in that life? Oh, yeah, that happened. I had that opportunity. I didn't take it, etc., etc. And you may then decide that, look, I need to go back and do this properly again. And that's okay. It's your choice. You're not forced to do this. Free will is a fundamental principle of the universe that you and I live in. And there are alternatives to Earth. It doesn't have to be Earth. But Earth is a pretty special place. And it's quite an effective place as well. It's hard. Put it like this. People on Earth, souls who incarnate on the Earth are regarded as the fighter pilots extraordinaire. They are held and revered for their bravery because this is a hard place. So we can't be forced to do this. We have free will. It's our choice. Another aspect is that time is a really important part of karma. Because what time does, it allows the karmic dance to play out. It allows the time between the cause and the effect, what we're experiencing, and for us to become aware in that time period of what's happening. Now, time in spirit is very different. It probably doesn't even exist as we know it here. And so time is very special on the earth plane, and it enables us to grow in understanding and awareness. There's a beautiful quote by Dr. Peebles, and Dr. Peebles is channeled by Summer Bacon. You can check out her website. But he is just amazing, just full of love, wisdom, fantastic, beautiful messages from him. And this is one of them. He says, "My dear friends, you have come to this school called Planet Earth to discover and dissolve the illusions of separation between self and between life. Certainly, it is your labor of love to diminish these very same illusions, wherein you will discover that never in your eternal soul have you been the victim, but always the creator." And I love the way he ends. He always says, "God bless you indeed," which is wonderful. So we are the creators of our reality, is the bottom line here. And it may be that we choose to visit the earth hundreds or even thousands of times in order to progress in awareness and grow and understand who we truly are through the density and limitations of the earth plane. Now, life can be bumpy, as we know, and it is possible along the way, along those lifetimes, to pick up limiting beliefs, and we often do. So that's why we only incarnate as a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of our true self, what you might call your higher self. And that's an insurance policy, because it's like investing. You're not going to put your money in, all of your money into one investment just in case it goes bong. So you and I right now are just a small fraction of who we really are on the spirit plane. But that small part can learn what we need to learn so that we grow a bit more in awareness and in light. Some people think that karma happens to them. It's like a third party putting karma on them. Or even projecting it onto other people. Oh, he'll get his bad karma, coming back to him or something like that, almost like retribution. But that's not really how it works. Karma doesn't happen to you. You actually are the author. You decided to take part in this school called Planet Earth, where the karmic process operates. And another quote from Michael Sheridan, who says that essentially by choosing karma, you're forcing yourself to learn about yourself and hopefully advance in the process. Okay, so I hope that's made sense so far. That karma is a mechanism by which we attract situations and people and events into our life so that we can become aware of conditioning that we received from a very early age, which reflects what we need to heal on a spiritual level. And then life, the universe, will put in our way and give us the next step to heal that conditioning, and then we'll be healed on the spiritual. Now, there's another aspect of karma that we need to take a look at, and it's an important aspect. When we pass over and we're done with this life, we will have a life review. Now, you can check this out. There's plenty of near-death experiences and people who will attest to this. And this is where you get to look back on every single minute detail of your life. Not only will you feel the feelings you had in those situations and moments of your life, but you'll also feel deeply the feelings of the people you affected for positive or negative reasons. So it's important to state here that there is never any judgment. There's not judgment from God, the cosmos, from the universe. There's no judgment. You're not forced to do anything here. But we can judge ourselves, and we often do. Now, what this can lead to is that we might feel deeply somebody's wound or somebody's negative emotions and feelings that we were perhaps responsible for causing in our lifetime, and we feel that we owe them a debt. And we may agree with them when they have finished their lifetime to reincarnate and help them in some way, because we feel that we owe them. So that is self-judgment. Now, we can get out of this spiral of self-judgment. And this is kind of what's thought of as the karmic cycle in some ways. It's like, this is where the idea of a karmic cycle comes from, but it's really self-imposed. We judge ourselves. If we can forgive ourselves, because it's not necessary to come back and owe somebody, but if we can forgive ourselves, then we can break free of that karmic cycle. Now, that is easier said than done, because when you do your life review and you really feel that pain and that negativity that somebody else is feeling because of you, then it can be really, really hard not to judge yourself. So that's another aspect, the karmic debt aspect, if you like, or self-judgment. So one other thing really to discuss today, and that is the sort of opposite of the karmic path. Now, the karmic path is a masculine energy path. Now, what I mean by masculine is that it's all about doing. It's about the situations that happen to you. And it's all about that kind of action and reaction. More and more people now are moving from the karmic path to what is called the dharmic path. And the dharmic path is all about living from the heart. It's about living through your feelings and letting your feelings and heart dictate your actions. It's also knowing what is best for your spiritual growth and doing that. Now, people who are on the karmic path might look at somebody on the dharmic path and go, well, that's just illogical, irrational. They've given up their job. They've, moved somewhere where it completely doesn't make any sense. They must be completely bonkers. So that's what it might look like from the karmic, which is the masculine. So the feminine is very much living from the heart and letting feelings dictate our life path. It can sometimes even seem self-centered, and somebody might say, "Oh, well, they're just focusing on themselves and what they want and their spiritual journey and so on." So it's interesting to note that perception that can come up. People on the dharmic path also have a very strong and direct intuition. Now, an intuition is a connection with our higher self, the greater part of us. And that helps them to know what the next step in their life is. Great. So we've covered a bit of a deep dive into karma. I hope it makes a bit more sense now. And I'd love to hear any questions you have on this. So karma is always a choice. And it's the way that we can become more aware of who we really are. It's dissolving the illusions of separation between ourselves and life. We will eventually get the message on the karmic path. It may take several opportunities, but eventually we will become aware of what we need to heal. If we take those opportunities and we decide that we do want to heal, we do want to move forward in awareness, then we will become lighter, we will become brighter, we will discover more of our divine essence, our true essence. And we will be letting the love, which is really what we're made of, shine through us and shine out through our thoughts, our words, our actions. And we will be growing spiritually to express that love. I'll leave you with a quote from Deepak Chopra, who says that getting unstuck from your karma is made possible by the human ability to break out of patterns simply by first being aware of them. I hope you've enjoyed that little spiritual thought for the week. And if you do, then please like and subscribe to the channel. There'll be more of these discussions coming along each week. It's been great to have you here. Thank you for watching. And if you've got any questions, please pop them in the chat below. And it'd be great to join the discussion and hear what you think about karma. Okay, well, best wishes to you. Have a great week, and I'll catch you next time.